Hello and welcome everybody to
Hi.
our afternoon session of Meet Momo finalist Cyril Iyadi. Hi, welcome. Nice to have you here with us. We haven't seen
Yeah.
each other for a minute, so it's really good
Oh,
to
yeah.
have you back.
Same here. Same here.
How's it
Same here. It's always a
going?
pleasure. It's always a pleasure having a conversation with you, Susan.
Yeah, absolutely. How's it going? How have you been?
Uh, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, the weather is hot, but other than that, I'm doing great.
Fantastic. So let's kick off. So first, I would like to ask you to give me a brief introduction about you, where you're from, your tech stack, and your tech journey prior to starting the JUUBIX Global TechSprint Leadership Program. Over to
Okay.
you.
Yeah. So my name is Iyadi Cyril. I'm from Nigeria. I'm broadcasting live from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a full stack. Love the country. So I'm a full stack web developer, but I like to specialize in the back end aspect of things. I've been a software engineer for about 4 years now, and I started off with C Sharp before I transitioned to Ruby on Rails, Python, and once in a while JavaScript. I really, really enjoy software development because it gives me an opportunity to solve problems. There's no better feeling in the world than when someone gives you a problem, you're able to translate it to code, you run your code, it works. That feedback of satisfaction from your customer is top notch. There's no equal. So I love software development. Um, my adventure before JUUBIX, I've walked around the fintech space with a couple of companies here in Nigeria. Currently, I work with a company listed in Ontario, Canada. I work remotely with them, also as a backend engineer. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, Microverse. Shout out to my guys. So I did a couple of trainings and collaborations in Microverse that I'm super proud of and met really, really amazing people from Microverse. So that's been my journey all the way to JUUBIX.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And I want to go even further back, so like when you were growing up, kind of, your family, did they have any influence in you getting involved in the software industry?
That's a big no.
They
um, my
wanted you to be a lawyer or a doctor.
so my dad's a graduate in the arts. He studied French from the University of Ibadan here in Nigeria. My mom is a professional teacher. So basically, everyone in my family is in the arts. I'm the only person in the sciences. So they had no influence whatsoever in my decision. And my dad is pretty chill. So he let us make our own decisions. Whatever we wanted to study, whatever we wanted not to study, he never impressed on any of us. He gave us the leeway to choose whatever we wanted to be. So software engineering was entirely my choice. And I picked it, funny enough, because it was one of the fields at the time that I didn't really know much of. So I was a science student, yes, but I did read a lot of literature books. I had multiple vast interests, but the field that was like a blank space to me was software engineering. So I picked it up like, oh, it's 4 years. Let's see what this is about. And then along the way, I found out that it was something I'd like to stick to. So yeah.
Amazing. And when you were young, did you have any, exposure to computers?
No, no, no. Other than the one you see in movies where the hacker picks his computer and in like 30 seconds is hack things that are very unrealistic,
Yeah.
and they've hacked the copy. That's pretty much as much exposure as I got. So no, I didn't.
Interesting. So what made you choose to participate, on the JUUBIX GTLP? What was part of your decision making?
So I had just completed Microverse at the time, and I was hungry. I really wanted exposure. I really wanted to get things done. I really wanted to see what was out there for me. So JUUBIX came at just the right time. I can remember getting that mail and thinking to myself that, oh wow, this is just great. This is superb. This awesome. And I went through the listings and the details, and I saw that, oh, this is great. I get to collaborate with a lot of people that from all kinds of angles, all kinds of places, countries in the world, people that I normally wouldn't have had the opportunity to collaborate with. Get to see what are things like with them. How do they think? How do they approach problems? So it was just wonderful. And also when I got to see that they were going to be mentors that would be giving us feedback on the things we worked on. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I could not say no.
Amazing, amazing. So in terms of like, when you were, contributing or participating on the program, what areas did you cover? Like, in terms of the development of JUUBIX?
Oh yeah, the technical bits. I'll try not to bore our listeners here, but I'll do my best. So my strengths lie with backend and leadership, basically. So I along with a team of very, very bright engineers. So we came together to fix a couple of problems with the sign up. I was in charge in coming up with algorithms to scale the sign up process. I was also in charge to come up with algorithms for the matching process because if you're familiar with JUUBIX, if you're not familiar with JUUBIX, the whole point of JUUBIX is to bring things together. People with interests, people with dreams, people with goals, people with skills who want to connect you all together. So my job was essentially coming up with an algorithm to make that possible on the platform, and it was superb.
Amazing. And how did you find it? Did you find it the idea itself initially? How did you find it in terms of understanding, you know,
So,
the broad
so
aspects?
I mean, not to state the obvious. I think it's kudos to you really for taking the pain to really make things as clear as possible. You were always available. We could always hit you up to ask you questions. You were always ready to give us feedback. You're always ready to jump on calls to explain things, to clarify things. So that really helped. And of course, I had great team members, LB, Amini, Donald. They were always, even if one person was lost in translation, there was always someone, even Caleb as well, there was always someone to say, oh, no, this is where we're going, this is what we're trying to do, and sort of bring everyone back to the main point of things. So it was great to collaborate. I mean, as developers, we tend to have that tendency to want to do things our way. But I feel like a very useful skill is to be adaptable and be able to work with others. It helps you scale faster. So it was nice to also get that added in as well.
Absolutely, I love that last bit. It helps you to scale faster, and that's the whole point of what JUUBIX wants to bring to the market. To be able to scale services and products, very much faster in terms of investment as well as the contributions felt within the team. So in terms of the program, were you given any external resources, that could help with the production process?
So the mentors, definitely the mentors. They were always available to give pointers, to give direction, just a little bit of insight. Once we let them see our trajectory, they were able to make projections. I mean, these were um, um, members of the industry that were far above us. So they had way a lot more experiences. Or I can remember several times where there were suggestions on, oh, trying something in the cloud, trying something in one area or the other that we were not particularly used to. Because, I mean, you can only do what you know. As much knowledge as you have will always be your limits in problem solving. So it was always nice to get additional insights. So they were basically the cheat codes. They were the additional resources. They were the directors, just trying to give us pointers and things to consider along the journey of our development. So yeah, we did have that.
So I was on mute there. Amazing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, even the mentors themselves, were they global as well, or were they, based in one country?
Oh no, they were everywhere. Colombia, America, the UK, they were everywhere. They were everywhere.
Fantastic. So in terms of the actual program itself, yeah, did you believe that the program was inclusive and diverse? And if so, why?
Yes, I do. I mean, if Tuba is online, Tuba and I are still friends till today.
uh,
Tuba is from India, by the way, for all our listeners. LB is from Zambia. Amini from Tunisia or Morocco, I'm not sure now, but he was from North
Tunisia, yeah.
Africa. Yeah. So we had like a bunch of guys from all parts of the world. So I dare say, that nearly all continents were represented. So there was always a fresh angle to things. I mean, I can remember having to stay up late at night just because the meeting was in someone else's time zone, just to make sure that we're all able to get everyone on the calls and have conversations and not leave everyone behind. So yeah, there were a lot of that. So yeah, we had that inclusion and diversity.
Amazing, amazing. So, in terms of the actual JUUBIX solution itself, the product, I mean, what do you think it could do in the market, and what do you think it could do globally?
So I think it's a really good angle. I mean, today we have the internet, and as much as the internet is an advantage, it can be a lot. When you go on the internet, you might not know where to start from. You might not know where you need to go, who you need to talk to. It can just be very overwhelming. So to have a platform where things are sort of narrowed down for you, and you could just come in and you see options, allows you to pick what you actually want to see or who you actually want to work with based on your interest or whatever you have in mind. To have that at just buttons away from you. I think it's a very, very good innovation. Yeah. So that ability to make the world slightly more smaller and easier to navigate, I think is really, really cool.
Amazing. Thanks for that endorsement, Cyril. That's what we like to hear. So, going into our next question, in terms of like, new aspiring software developers, what would be your advice, going back to the, not the old Cyril, but the Cyril before now, right? We have the investor Cyril now. So
Yeah.
going back to the old Cyril, yeah.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to up inspiring, software developers that are coming into this industry?
Um, Put yourself out there. No one is going to blow your horn for you. Just put yourself out there. You might not know everything. You might not think you know everything, but put yourself out there. Let people know what you can do. Let people know what you're capable of. Two, be absolutely willing to learn. Be okay with it. Like they've been, even in my current job, I'm blessed with very, very, very wonderful engineers who are always willing to point things out that, oh, did you consider this? How about this? Did you try this? It's always nice. I mean, it help, like I said, it helps you scale faster. So you easily get over the things you do not know about quicker when you are outside. If you're just inside within your own bubble, within your own scope, it's easy for you to make assumptions that are not entirely correct or true. And it also slows you down. Put yourself out there. Let people see what you do. Take feedback. Work with it. Three, ask a lot of questions. Always be inquisitive. Always want to know. Even if you've done something a while back, take a walk through. Why did you make those decisions? What informed those decisions? Where you are now, will you still be making those same decisions? What can you do better? Ask these questions. It helps you innovate. It helps you get special. Four, find something you're good at, something that you know you're really, really good at, and specialize in it. Be the best person at that thing. Someone that everyone will be able to just chat you up and be like, "Oh, I have this problem. Can you help out?" It's very, very important to have something that gives you that confidence to step out there and keep moving. So I feel like those are like the basics. And if you can walk around these things, tiptoe around these things, and of course, the fifth would be discipline to get the job done, to do those things you need to do, because nobody's going to change your life for you. The things you need to do to have a better life experience or to grow, basically, they are within your fingertips. Just sit down, black out time, make out time, discipline yourself to get those things out of the way. So, I mean, with those stuff, the sky's the limit.
Amazing, amazing. I actually wanted to put a question in. So, in terms of like emerging technologies, which are the emerging technologies that you would say to look out for, and are there any that you've actually, worked on in terms of, projects that you've worked in?
Okay, so for emerging technology, I mean the blockchain. Uh, there was a little last year was a bit rocky, especially towards the end of last year because of FX and the decisions they made. I work in the blockchain industry. My company is a blockchain. We manage blockchain assets in my company. So it was a bit rocky towards the end of last year, but it's still the future, and there are still innovations that can go on around it. So it's still a field that is no man's land. There's still a whole lot of opportunities that can get done there. And then another thing would be artificial intelligence. Why I say this is in the Nigerian sphere, especially with companies I've worked with, we come up with like a lot of data. We have a lot of data, but no one is really doing anything with this data. We're not making
Mm,
projections. We're not using it to understand user behavior. We're not using it to do a lot of things. So there's just like a bunch of data we're churning out, but we tend not to prioritize the need for this projection. So it's a field that is dormant, that it's easy for some guy to just come into the industry and take advantage of that. I mean, imagine having APIs that you can share with companies, and companies can you can use to get data from them and give them projections as feedback that help them make analysis with their data,
Yeah.
just in case they don't want to spend money creating like a team for it. You could just outsource it, be like the third party that handles that for them. I feel like you'll make a killing, because it's one of those things, or one of those sectors that businesses don't tend to really invest in. So if you could just make that service available for them at a cheaper rate, I think it's going to be a killing.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
That leads us nicely into our last question for this afternoon session.
Okay.
Do you see yourself as a future leader, and if so, why? So,
Uh, well, I ran away from it as long as I could, but that's not working anymore. On that note, uh, this would be a good time to tell you that I got promoted as a team lead in my company.
oh, amazing!
So
Well
yeah,
done.
that happened. Yeah, thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you. So that happened. So yes, I'm beginning to find myself in more roles that require me to make decisions on behalf of other people, to make plans on behalf of other people, and I'm starting to enjoy it. I'm starting to settle in into the role. So hopefully, who knows? In the not so distant future, I might be doing a lot of things that people will get to benefit from. So I look forward to it. I'm loving it. I look forward to it as well.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And really, well done. Your new, you're upgrading your role.
Thank you.
It's exciting times.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll see some more advancements in your development.
Yes. Yes.
I wanted to obviously, obviously thank you for joining us this afternoon, taking time out of your working life schedule to, share your journey and your contributions in terms of JUUBIX with our audience today. And thank you to our audience as well for attending and listening to Cyril and his journey. But is there any last remarks you want to say before, we close off today, Cyril? In
Uh,
terms, could be anything, a
I'm,
quote, something your dad said.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm no one for speeches. But I will say, whatever it is we're doing, let's find time to enjoy ourselves as well. Take yourself out, do something, indulge yourself, get yourself gifts, buy yourself things. If people won't appreciate you, if the team you work with don't appreciate you, the companies you work with don't appreciate you, appreciate yourself. Take the time out to see how you're growing, and give yourself a tap on the shoulder if no one is doing it. Like, well done, well done. Your pace might not be what you expect, but trust me, in the end, it pays off. So don't let people's validation be the goal. Just keep growing and keep congratulating yourself. Eventually, you'll get that dream that you have. Yeah. So
That
I
was
did
a
it.
lovely sentiment to
I
leave
gave
with
a
our
speech.
audience.
I gave a speech.
Actually, I actually missed one thing that I wanted to touch on. Sorry,
Okay.
and sorry to our audience as well. But like obviously we have the Nigerian elections coming up, and we're both Nigerians. So what's your thoughts around that? And in terms of like your decision in regards to who
Yeah.
you would like to win. I mean, is
Yeah.
that
So
something you'd
we're
like
going to
to share with
we're
us
going to
today?
get political now. We're going to
Exclusive.
get political. We're going to get political now. Well, yes. So what I love that's happening right now is that most of us, and I mean myself inclusive, we're beginning to care. In the last election, I didn't vote. The election before that, I didn't vote. I think I've been old enough for like 2, 3 elections. I was never bothered, right? But now I am. Now I'm concerned. And not just me, a lot of people are. And it's amazing to see. So I feel like that dream, that Nigeria that we've all been clamoring for, there's a lot more energy going into it, and it's going to happen for us. It might not be this election. There are arguments on that. There are different divergent opinions. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just happy that the journey has begun. Like the steps that we need to take to have that change that we want is already happening. So I can't wait to see where this takes us. I'm going to vote. I'm not going to be saying who I'm voting for, but I will say it's not Tinubu and it's not Atiku. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, that said everything anybody needs to know, right? So So it's fine. I'm just glad that all the energy is going in to make it happen, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. That's it.
I like the fact that you touched on that. You like the fact that the progression is happening. So inevitably we might not see a change straight away, but the change is coming.
Yes, it is.
And when the change comes,
it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be amazing. I mean, not just for Nigeria. I think for Africa as a whole.
I agree.
I think once Nigeria starts taking a U-turn, we'll have a rippling effect across Africa.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you. So I went, back into the interview after closing up. But thank you so much to our attendees, and thank you, Cyril, for joining us today. And take care. Have a great rest of your afternoon. So look out for tomorrow's afternoon session with Anna. She's a lovely one of our finalists as well, so she'll be attending tomorrow. Thank you so much. So take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.